Welcome to the Liquid Funk Show. The mighty sounds of Fabio. Fabio Radio 1. Fabio.
Yes. 2 weeks goes really fast. Back again. Many thanks to Tim. Mighty Westwood. Catch him again tonight, 9 till 12. That's how we do. Going right in tonight, right in. Not even kind of giving you a bit of a warm-up. I'm just going right in. And we've got a very special show tonight. Excellent show in store. As per usual, we've got the very, very best in music. The very best in music. Some great new tracks around, and I'm going to be playing all of them. Got the top 5 rollers. And plus we've got a special guest, a man that I have been boosting up for a long time. You've heard me speak about him so many times, it's probably getting on your nerves slightly. He's in the studio with me tonight. Very special guest, happens to be Calibre. A guy who in the short space of time is really making his mark in the drum and bass world. Of course, he's excellent albums around, and we're going to be playing some of the tracks off the album and talking to the man himself. So that's all coming up. And we've got so much music to play tonight, I'm going to keep the talking to an absolute minimum. It's going to be very difficult, but I'm going to try. Excellent tracks from Photek. Lots of good new remixes around. Excellent stuff from the Formation Camp, from Marky and Pachif. That's how we do. So we're going to be having a little chat with the man himself, Calibre, in around 40 to 45 minutes time. Remember, do not miss that. First time interviewed anywhere. So it'll be very interesting. The most prolific guy in drum and bass, he's going to be here very, very soon. We've still got the all-important Mighty 5 rollers. Last week's number 1 was Andy C and Shimon with their amazing body rock. It's good to hear that getting some airplay on the Radio 1. And the very best new music around, of which this is one.
roll, Fabio. Yes, let it 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 roll, Fabio.
Brand new from an outfit called Tronik 1000 from Germany. Had a couple of tracks out on Renegade, and it's great to see people worldwide coming in and making proper authentic drum and bass tracks. I remember back in the day when people used to do drum and bass tracks outside London. You never even used to listen to stuff. And of course that's shameless bias, but it used to happen quite a lot. And I got a DAT from Hidden Agenda once, which I had for 6 months, and I didn't listen to it because I saw Newcastle on the front of it, and I listened to it, and that just totally changed me because it was amazing stuff. And so now I eagerly await to listen to stuff from abroad, and some of the best stuff is coming from abroad at the moment. Stuff coming from Germany, from the States, everywhere, Brazil. And of course, from Ireland, we've got our very special guest coming up a bit later. The man Calibre, you've heard me busting out these tracks for about nigh on 2 years now. So we've got the man himself for the first time. We're going to be talking to Calibre, and that's coming up in around 40 minutes' time. Right, next we've got a track that I'm not sure what's happening with this. I'm starting to get renewed interest in this track. Maybe the last ever drum and bass track from Photek. He's gone to Pastor's Green, and I know he's working on some special stuff and maybe working on film soundtracks and the like. So whether we're going to hear another new drum and bass track from the scientist of our drum and bass is, we don't know, but he'll be sadly missed if he doesn't come back and do anything else. Unreleased, maybe never to be released, a track entitled Saturated Hip Hop. Sending this one out to the mighty Pesce. As I said, we got some very, very, very tasty morsels coming up. Photek, aka Special Forces. And this just really sums up everything that Photek's about. Check this out. It's Fabio, it's Radio 1. Friday night, Saturday morning.
Fabio. Yes, let it roll, 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 Fabio. Fabio. Yes, let it roll, 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 Fabio on Radio 1. Fabio on Radio 1. Stop, hold, inside the zone. Welcome to the Liquid Funk Show. Fabio on Radio 1. Fabio on Radio 1. Fabio on Radio 1. Fabio on Radio 1. Stop, hold, inside the zone. Welcome to the Liquid Funk Show. Fabio on Radio 1.
Those who have ears hear, and those who speak, speak. Children, listen to me. Children, go where I send thee. How shall I send thee? I'm gonna send thee one by one. I'm gonna send thee. Children, go where I send thee. How shall I send thee? I'm gonna send thee two by two. I'm gonna send thee.
Two tracks showing the different sides of drum and bass. We kicked off with saturated hip hop. Cult classic, that track. Special Forces, aka Photek. Sending that one out to Max, all the Swerve crew, because you're familiar with that track by now. And also a track that's going to become a future classic. Marcus Intellect's remix of 9 by 9 from the 4 Hero. Marcus Intellect and Sent Files. Marcus, got to say that. I think that's my one of my favourite tracks of the year. That is lovely. Lovely, lovely stuff. Right, we've got the man himself, Calibre, coming up in around 20 minutes' time. We're going to be speaking to one of the most prolific producers, I think, in dance music. I don't think there's anyone else who makes as much tracks as this guy. And of such a high standard as well. It's all good and well you're making kind of like 100 tracks a year, but when you've got a real strike rate like this, it's phenomenal. Absolutely. So we're going to be speaking to him. He's telling us about all the tricks of the trade, what he thinks of the album, and remember the album Musique Concrete, out in your shops now. As I said before as well, I'm going to try and keep the talking down to a minimum tonight. I've got so much tunes to play. The last show I did, I remember there's so much tunes I didn't get a chance to play because I was yapping on too much. But here's playing this one to Crust, also DJ Die. World exclusive business, DJ Zinc. Check this out. This is a track entitled Fair Flight. Send this one out to all the True Players crew. Big shout going out to Zinc, Hype, Pascal, Danny Breaks, the whole crew. Going around the spectrum tonight, no messing around. It's all about the flavours. Send this one out to Ronnie Size and the rest of the camp. Gonna have DJ Sub on the show soon. We're gonna hook that up and get that sorted. It's Radio 1, baby. Got the top 5 rollers coming up in the second half of the show. DJ Zinc. Little exclusive there, track entitled Fair Flight. DJ Zinc, he's on a different thing at the moment. He's on a different thing. Say a big shout going out to the Ram Camp, big shout going out to Andy, also Shimon, Red One, Ant Miles, the rest of the guys. Big shout going out to the Radio 1 crew, big shout to Andy and all the crew. And do you know something? You know what, Andy, you're going to have to remind me to get this photograph because I need my toggle thing sorted out, yeah? Because I came to do my show tonight and some young lady said, "Who are you?" which I found deeply offensive. I only usually get that from kind of whack MCs. Like, who are you, man? Who are you? What's your name again? I always say Paul Oakenfold. They're like, yeah, I've heard of you, you know. That does happen, you know, it does happen at least 3 times a year. Right, a couple more tracks and we're going to go into interview mode. If you just joined us, we've got Calibre in the studio. We're going to be playing his amazing track from the album Musique Concrete. We're going to be talking to him about this and that. No competitions tonight? No competitions tonight, no. No competitions, nothing like that going on. It's all about the music, and that suits me fine. Here's a track from Tommy Knockers. I've never found out what that meant. I think that's a Stephen King novel, actually. There's a film called Tommy Knockers. It's not about a buxom young lady called Tommy. That was poor. I wasn't going to say that. I should have. That was poor. But I like this track. Send this one out to Easy Rollers and the rest of the guys. It's Fabio. It's Radio 1. Friday night, Saturday morning. This is how we do. Fabio with the killer cuts. Swerve crew, get ready. Yeah. Tommy Knockers. I like saying that, actually. Track called Running. Rather good stuff. Right, a guy that I, for the last 2 years or so, I've been pumping his stuff. And he's here. Finally got him in. On this balmy Friday night. We got the man himself, Calibre. What's up, Calibre?
Hi, Fabio.
Yeah, what's up? You all right, man?
Yeah, it's nice to be here.
Yeah, you kind of bit of a resident in London nowadays.
Yeah, I'm over here quite often.
Is this your 6th time or something now?
I think I'm over the 10 mark now, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're joking?
Yeah, I think so.
I didn't even know that. But anyway, we're looking forward to speaking to you straight after this. This is one of the tracks that didn't make it on the album, and I'm kind of like sitting down, kind of thinking, should have put it on there. Killer track. We're going to be talking to Calibre straight after this. Track entitled Makes Me. Check the groove on this one.
to the Liquid Funk Show. Fabio on Radio 1. Fabio on Radio 1. Fabio on Radio 1. Fabio on Radio 1.
Killer cuts. I've been playing that for a minute, as Wishwood would say. Calibre 2000, the track entitled Makes Me. Right, we got the man Calibre in the house. So you're right though, Calibre?
Yeah, I'm hanging on.
hanging on. But how's everything been going in the studio recently? Everything's been fine?
Everything's cool. It's been working solid. Had a nice output over the last couple of weeks.
You've been pretty prolific.
Yeah, I discovered some new sounds and some new beats, and that's all I need, really.
Cool. But we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back because we kind of like to structure this a little bit. We're gonna go back because I remember when I first met you. You was at Quadraphonic in Dublin, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was at the kitchen.
Yeah, and you was doing stuff under the name of...
That was the same name.
Oh, was it? See, that shows how much I know. Terrible memory. Just recorrect me when I start talking crap. But under the same name. But you was doing a lot of live stuff at the time, wasn't you?
Yeah.
Was it more a live-based kind of a...
Well, for me, it was that it was the easiest way for me to get my music to people, because DJs weren't playing my stuff, and I couldn't afford to get plates cut, so it just made sense to take the track out, and that's what I mastered onto, and it was just a quick way to see what was going wrong with the music and what was going right with it, so.
Yeah, let's go back before that as well, because I remember you telling me some really interesting stories of how you used to cut up tapes and cassette tapes and stuff like that, and try and do loops and stuff. When did you first get the studio? What gave you the inspiration to kind of get a studio together?
I used to play in bands, and I got sick and tired of trying to, because I was a drummer, and my ideas were always put at the back of the queue, I suppose. And I just wanted to start on my own and start my own studio. And I think it was about 4 years ago I bought a synth and lived with it for a year. And then I bought myself an 8-track, which is, listening to some of the dub stuff. A lot of the stuff come out of the 60s as well. Decided that was the sound that I loved, and it offered something different, and it was a very cheap alternative to,
sure.
Spending loads on a desk and that. Like, that was about 3 or 4 years ago. And since then I've just, bit by bit built it up a wee bit more and perfected the sound a wee bit more.
So was dub, and I know, Bill, I can hear it in the music. Mm-hmm. Was it a real big influence? What was you kind of listening to before the whole drum and bass thing? Was you kind of listening to a lot of dance stuff, or was it more kind of
Yeah, it was a lot of electronic stuff. 4 to the Floor, breakbeat stuff from Warp, and
Warp were bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
for real.
a lot of stuff that Attackra and, you know, there's a lot of people that I've listened to, you know, that have put in, you know, a large influence in what I do, but maybe you won't be able to trace it as easy. But I think that, you know, as a musician, if you're writing music, that the way that I make music is that I'm always listening to, you know, new music. I go out and buy records and listen to it, and you're always evolving. So I think the influences are always changing. So
That's great, because did you ever... Was the drum and bass thing a kind of a deliberate thing? Did you kind of set out to make drum and bass, or did it kind of come about as like it was a music form that you liked and gave it a go?
My brother introduced me to drum and bass in the early 90s. And he was one of the few people in Belfast that was getting the records through the shops and that, and I was first introduced to it. And I didn't catch it the first time, which is sort of strange because I'm a drummer. But after a while working with the synth and that very basic sequencer, that I used to actually play the drums myself over like 6-7 minutes, and I found that drum bass it just excited me to go in further into it and to find out a lot more about it.
It's funny because you said that about drums, because I think a lot of people that played the drums or something have always they pick up the rhythm of drum and bass a lot easier than people do a lot of the time, because I think it's got that, it's so drum and bass, and I think the rhythms and the structures are very similar.
Yeah.
So did you ever think that you'd get to the stage that he was making like 5-6 tracks a week or anything like that? Or have you always been quite prolific?
Whenever I first started, on the synth, that was the basic way I worked. I mean, I could do maybe 2 or 3 in a night. I mean, I lived with this thing. It was very much a part of my life for a long time. So, in fact, the more I've gone on, the slower the tracks have come. Which is better, because I think you need to take more time over music as your standard goes higher.
Definitely. And I can see that even with the early stuff you used to do to the tracks you're doing now, I can see little improvements every single CD you give me. Anyway, listen, we're going to rush to the first track off the album, which is entitled Musique Concrete, a wonderful album. The first track we're going to play, I've put it on and I don't even know what it is. Hold on 1 minute. All right, yeah. It's You Make It Hot. Now, can you remember doing? Because this is the bizarre thing about this guy. He doesn't even remember some of the tracks he does. He really doesn't. I mean, if he gives me a new CD, I'll say I really like that track, and he doesn't quite remember ever doing it. But it's bizarre. You Make It Hot. Is it one of your real favourites?
It was sort of made about at the time, or I was influenced by a lot of the French filtered stuff at the time, on stuff coming on Roulette, and I think that was just like nobody was sort of doing that in drum bass at the time, so it just seemed to be just something different.
Definitely, because when I first heard it, it really did remind me of a kind of like, in a way, how Daft Punk or someone like that, Bob Sinclair would sound if he kind of done a drum and bass track. And as you said, the filter thing now is getting kind of like outrageous, and this was one of the first tracks. We are speaking to the mighty Calibre, talking about his influences, where he's coming from, studio technique, and the album Musique Concrete. Wonderful 21-track epic. A masterpiece. And this is one of the killer cuts on the album, a track entitled You Make It Hot, causing havoc on the dance floor. And we've got Calibre in the house. It's Fabio, it's Radio 1. Drum and bass in your face, baby. the album Musique Concrete, You Make It Hot. We're speaking to Calibre about the album, about many, many things. And of course, you've kept some anonymity. I think that's the name. That's the word. A lot of people don't know a lot of stuff about you, and you make so many tracks. I mean, how much tracks really, on average, do you make a week? Really?
On a good week, maybe five, six.
But that's why you got to find, you know, it's been very difficult for me to kind of whittle this album down. And the thing is as well, I mean, you've done so much tracks that aren't on the album. Is there anything that's not on the album that you thought, maybe?
I can't even remember.
That's what I told you about him. And the name Musique Concrete is a really interesting name. It's a very different kind of name. Where was the idea for that?
That came from John Cage. Sort of, I suppose John Cage, the influences of John Cage. Now, a lot of people have pounced on it as avant-garde album, but it's nothing really to do with that. It was more to do with the fact that I was recording onto the 8-track and my music was sample based, and the actual name Musique Concrete came from two French guys, Pierre Henry and Pierre Schaeffer, who made music during the 50s, which was sounds taken from the environment and put on the tape. And it just seemed to be like a logical choice for me it made sense to me. It tied the whole sort of the process and the music together. Were
they kind of, I've heard that they were kind of one of the first guys kind of sampled stuff slightly.
Yeah.
They were real kind of scientists of their time. Growing up in Belfast, what was your music influences? Because I know in Ireland, soul is a major part, you know, of course the film, the Commitments and stuff like that. But I know that the, old school soul like James Brown and stuff like that is kind of like a part of Irish heritage.
I was brought up in sort of Roy Gallagher, who's like, played blues, fantastic guitar.
You know what? He used to be in a band called Gallagher and Lyle, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
And my dad listened to a lot of blues, and my dad was, pretty much introduced me to music at a young age, and used to buy music a lot and have a lot of different music, of a very broad range of tastes, so I think that helped me trying to figure out what I liked and what I didn't like,
Definitely. Did you listen to the radio a lot when you was growing up?
Yeah, I used to make compilation tapes from the radio. So my dad and me used to, it was just, music was about, and I suppose it was different back then because, the first memories I have was of listening to music was driving about in a bike, listening to the Police. I think a Police tape that I had, and I remember my dad taking me to Madness concerts, and a lot of strange. I think music for him was exciting, so I think bringing me into it was.
And live stuff was very important for you as well, I think.
Yeah, be able to see bands, but Northern Ireland's very much band oriented.
Definitely,
there's a tradition there for it.
Yeah. Because I remember, going to all the clubs that I've been to in Belfast, they all have huge stages and they're kind of like live sets, really, more than anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think the first time that I listened to, the electronic thing was David Holmes' thing, Sugar Sweet, at the Art College, which sort of, introduced me to the whole thing.
Blew your mind, yeah?
Yeah.
Definitely. And of course, he's a resident of Belfast as well, David, as well, isn't he? Excellent. Now, another thing, a lot of the tracks on the album, did you do them on 8-track?
I would say maybe 60-70%, yeah.
Which is amazing. What I try to get across to people, you've got this sound, a very warm sound. And if you listen to a lot of the tracks on the album, it's got this really warm bass line and this kind of really easygoing, kind of reggae kind of style feel, or kind of slightly freestyle. Did you find that a hindrance kind of working on 8 tracks, or was you quite happy because that's what you knew?
It was sort of, it was so different than anything else that I wanted to I wanted to try and develop it and perfect it. You know, I was always making mistakes, but you know, if you don't make mistakes, you don't learn. And I think
no doubt.
I think that the whole 8-track thing is you know, giving me a chance to develop my own sound before I've, you know, had to step up into something that's a wee bit more complicated or demands a wee bit more attention. You know.
Definitely. Right, now we're going to play the second track from the album, a track called Vice. How long ago did you do Vice now?
About a year and a half.
About a year and a half ago. Amazing. Is this one of your... This is the track that really works on the dance floor. It really, maybe more than any other track on the album. Do you have an idea of what is going to work on the dance floor? And maybe this track's going to be working more than another?
You know what? I always say this to you. I never know.
Yeah.
You know, it really is hit and miss. You know, some of the tracks that I think that are going to work, you know, don't, and some of them I think, nah, it's never going to work, and you know, and it does. So, music surprises you. That's what it's there for.
Definitely. We're speaking to Calibre. It's Fabio's Radio 1. This is how we do. This is another track from the Musique Concrete album. 21 tracks, as I said before. Epic album. Send this one out to Randall. Also sending this one out to Dillinger, Lemon D, to Grooverider, to DJ Storm, to the man himself, Goldie. Big shout to LTJ. We're speaking to the man Calibre. He's in the house. Track entitled Vice. track entitled Vice. Big tune, big tune. Speaking to Calibre, you're doing a bit of DJing as well. How'd you find that?
I think that's sort of added to the whole, the process of making music. It means if I can go out and see what happens in the dance floor a lot more. It means that, I can structure my arrangements, which is sometimes a wee bit more, you're tying yourself to a theme a wee bit more, but I think for DJing, and the whole experience of it, punters go out and they want to hear stuff and they want to hear it smooth, and I think it's important to be able to know how to make tracks that are going to fit in and, DJs are going to be able to play with.
Do you find it nerve-wracking DJing? Do you find it a little bit nerve-wracking?
Yeah. The first time I started DJing was, I would be puking up in the toilets. I still get that. I still get nauseous feeling before I go on. I can't speak to people for at least half an hour.
It's funny you say that, because I used to be like that. When I first started DJing, I used to get zoned out, and even now it's not because of nerves. I think it's because I'm used to that. Before I go on, and when I'm DJing, I don't like people talking to me at all. It really, really throws me. But what do you find it? It's getting a bit easier now.
Yeah, I think it's. I feel a wee bit more confident now. The fact I have tunes and people know what I'm going to try and do. So I think it's after a while. I think these things you have to learn to deal with them, or you're not going to be able to deal with them. So
definitely. So who's your favourite drum and bass producers? Have you got favourites, or is it just kind of like a?
At the moment, I love the Marcus Intellectus stuff. I like the boys from Miami making some stuff at the moment.
Yeah, Influx Datum. Yeah, they're doing some wicked stuff.
High Contrast from Cardiff. I like the J Magic stuff as well. There's so much out there, that I'm afraid that, to start talking about in case I miss people,
I know it's like that sometimes, but do you, I've noticed recently as well, you've influenced a lot of people. Do you hear that? Or do you don't really kind of...
I don't know, I don't know, I put my head down on that point, because I think that music, people influence me as much as... if I hear a track that's good, it makes me want to go into the studio. So if it's on that tip, then, fair enough. If I've made tracks that people can relate to and makes them want to go in and make music, then that's good.
What's the Belfast dance scene like? Is it... Because I've been to Shine 3 times now, and it's very, very lively in there. Very, very lively. They're really up for hearing good music. What's the drum and bass scene like in...
At the moment, it's difficult, partly because of the club situation, and I suppose people haven't really been, they haven't been exposed to, DJs consistently coming over playing new music. So there's always been a backlog of people wanting to hear stuff but not being able to do it. So I think, next year I'm hopefully going to be able to set up a club and, create a centre for people to come down and listen to stuff consistently, hear DJs come through. And
that'd be great, because I think Belfast needs that. I think Northern Ireland does need kind of a drum and bass, because every time I've done drum and bass things, even the last time we played together at Shine, I thought that was really good.
Yeah, that was good. They weren't going to let you off then.
I know. Got a little bit scary towards the end. Got a little bit frightening, but you find that when you go to places like Ireland and a lot of other places, that people really do appreciate it. I think sometimes in London people get a little bit blasé and complacent about there's so much clubs in London and stuff like that, and everyone's kind of, oh yeah, we've heard it all before kind of vibe. And you go out to Belfast and then loads of other places, and it's really, really kicking off. So it's really, really good to see that. How do you find London?
The first time I came over here was a massive shock to the system. It was very, very in your face, but gradually over time,
you're getting used to things, ain't you?
I've grown. My heart's grown a wee bit fonder of it, that's for sure.
Yeah. Because I remember the first time you came over, you seemed to be quite shell shocked.
Yeah.
Because the people in London haven't really got a lot of time, and a little bit rude and stuff. Right, here's another killer track from the album. This track's called Untitled. We never really thought about a name for this one, no?
No, there's a few Untitled.
Yeah, because there's another track, hopefully for the next album, I'm going to call it Untitled 2.
Yeah.
Very imaginative, I know. But what's the influence behind this? This reminds me of a kind of that rubber dub kind of tune.
Yeah, this is. I took this sort of influence from some of the older records. I heard the sort of old school sound creeping in, a year and a half ago, and I think it was influenced by that.
And a bit of Studio One kind of vibes as well.
Yeah. Just to get that sound, that sort of that warm feeling and
no
that
doubt,
sort of production on it.
No doubt. We're speaking to Calibre. Another track from their marvellous album. As the dust gathers on that track. Track entitled Untitled. Have you got a favourite track on the album?
Maybe Crazy, just for personal reasons.
What was the idea behind that track? Was it a kind of... Is it because it's an emotional track for you, or...?
Yeah, it was just something that, I think that, if you're making music, you want to be able to do stuff like that, and I suppose drum and bass being such a dance floor oriented, music, to be able to make a track like that and see it come out,
Definitely, man. Definitely, I'm feeling that. And you've come over and done some stuff with Marcus as well.
Yeah, we've done three or four tracks
under the name Mystical.
Yeah, well, I don't know whether that's gonna stick, but they've come out quite well.
Excellent tracks.
Yeah, they're quite different from what I would do, and I think what Marcus and they would do, So
did you find it difficult working with not difficult, but was it? Did you learn from it?
Yeah, I mean they have a wonderful studio. And I know Lee's amazing in the studio. Marcus has got the musical. You know, for me to come over and work with them was good because any other time I've worked with other people, it just doesn't, you know, it hasn't worked. So, you know, being able to work with people on, you know, the level that they're on was, you know, it was good for me to just be able to experience that sort of studio, and just to work with, you know, two other people who were like-minded.
Yeah, I mean, to go into a studio that because I know they've got a vast studio, they've got a pretty mad studio, and to see that and check it out and work with them guys must have been pretty inspirational for you.
Yeah, it was. I mean, on the ideas tip, it was just, you know, it was a lot easier because we could manipulate things a lot more and tighten things up a lot more. And I think the fact that we get on, you know, in the first place helped things. And
definitely,
I think it's very important to have that, you know, an atmosphere in the studio where you can be relaxed around people and nothing's expected of you.
Do you when you go into the studio, do you have expectations in your mind? Do you ever kind of... Because the thing is, why I'm saying that, so much people find it really difficult to make tracks. And even Marcus finds it quite difficult sometimes. He goes through little periods where he goes really quiet and stuff. You don't seem to have that.
I sort of work in spurts, you know, there'll be times when I'll be very prolific, and then there'll be times where, you know, it'll be a wee bit more of a struggle, but I always, you know, I know the pattern, the way I work now, you know, I've been doing it for years, so it means I can anticipate the barring spells a wee bit more, you know.
And you've really found, I think, me personally, I think you've really found yourself more than ever now in the studio. And I think you feel that. You seem very confident about what you're doing and very pleased with the outcomes of tracks and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think working with the mixer and just, you know, infusing different sounds, you know, as I've gone along over the last 2 or 3 years, it's come to a point now where I'm a lot more confident about what I do, and I know what certain things are going to do, and
what's going to work maybe, and you got more of an idea of that.
Yeah, I don't want to be putting myself in a position where, you know, I'm able to plan ahead, you know, because every time I walk in the studio, I never ever know what's going to happen. So
for sure. And the only bad thing that I can say about you really is that you support Liverpool. I mean, apart from that, which is, you know, come on, let's get it straight. No, but Liverpool have done okay-ish so far this year. Yeah. But you are a staunch Liverpool supporter, and it's really funny that every time you come over, there seems to be Liverpool games on the telly, which you're very lucky. But listen, we're going to wind it up now, and it's been excellent. It's been excellent having you here. We're going to do a little competition for everyone. We've got 5 copies of the album Musique Concrete to give away. And can you remember the question?
Yeah. What was the name of the first single on Creative Source that I did?
Excellent. That's the Calibre competition. What's the name of the first track released on Creative Source? All the train spotters, and most people should know that. You can send your answers into Radio 1 London W1N4DJ, or you could email us at fabio@bbc.co.uk. One more time, what is the name of the first track that got released on Creative Source from Calibre? And send that into Radio 1 W1N4DJ, or email us at fabio@bbc.co.uk. Another killer from the album, Things Are Rearranging. What do you feel about this track? I mean, you've done this with I Got What You Need, which was a...
Yeah. This was actually after a bottle of wine. This track was in the studio, and it just came together. I was quite lucky with the sounds, and it just happens. And
it's the real summer flavour on this one. Well, Dominic, it's been great having you in here, really, after all this time. And me personally, you know, I don't want to kind of boost you up too much, but I think you are kind of like a bordering on genius. I think you are bordering on genius, and I really do think, you know, it's been a pleasure releasing your stuff and getting the tracks through the post. I get so excited when I hear your tracks, and you never let me down. And it's after a long time, it's been great having you on the show, and best of luck with the album.
Thank you.
And you're going to stick around for a little while as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, many thanks to Calibre. Remember the album Musique Concrete, 21 tracks. It's out in your shop now. You've heard every single track on the album if you've been listening to the show over the last year. It has been caned, and it will always be caned. Many, many thanks to Dominic Calibre for coming in. Things are rearranging. It's Fabio, it's Radio 1. This is how we flex.
let it roll, Fabio. Yes, 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 let it roll, Fabio.
Summertime vibes. Things are rearranging. Sending that one out to the whole drum and bass fraternity. And great to hear that our listening figures have gone up as well, which is... have I mentioned that before? Yeah, I have for the last two shows. Oh dear. Still got some killer cuts to play before the end of the show. Right, coming up next, a track from some guys that Calibre mentioned. Excellent outfit. Bringing out some stuff on Formation at the moment, and this is bad. Reminiscent of our very early Masters at Work. As drum and bass finds its housey side. That made a lot of sense. Good grammar, Fab. But very, very reminiscent of the stuff that used to come out the States about 7, 8 years ago. The original US garage stuff. Very reminiscent of artists like Masters at Work. Also the Basement Boys. As drum and bass enters a new era. Influx Datum. UK-US combination. Big shout going out to SS. Love and kisses to Sarah. You know that every single time. Big shout going out to Karina, also Shy. We're going into the red zone. It's Fabio. 97 to 99, Radio 1, probably the best station in the whole wide world.
let it roll, Fabio. Yes, 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 let it Fabio. Radio 1.
Another track from across the water. Wicked tune, Untitled Voices from Makoto. Down there in Tokyo. Big shout going out to all the Tokyo crew, Canberra. All the liquid rooms, massive. One more time we're going to read out that Calibre competition. If you can give us the name of the first track ever on Creative Source that Calibre done. Send it into Radio 1 London W1N4DJ. Email us fabio@bbc.co.uk. Time to go into the Mighty Five Rollers. Remember, we're going to be doing our new addition to Mighty Five Rollers. We're going to be coming worldwide soon. Once a month we will be coming from record shops around the world. That's not happening this week, but we're going to be doing that again very, very soon. I like the idea. Right, last week, number one was, of course, Andy C and Shimon with their amazing Body Rock. We're going to see if they're going to maintain at number one.
Stop, hold, inside the zone. Welcome to the Liquid Funk Show. Fabio on Radio 1.
Hi Fabio, this is Clive from Red Eye in Ipswich. And this week, I'm going to run down the top 5 Mighty Rollers.
5 Mighty Rollers. Mighty Rollers. Mighty Rollers. Number 5. Number 5.
So here we go. At number 5, down 2 places, is Future Cut with the Ghetto Style EP on Renegade Hardware. At number 4, a new entry from Calibre, Deep Everytime on Creative Source.
Deep every time, deep every time, deep every time, deep every time, deeper every time. We get deeper all the time.
At number 3, another new entry. This is from Clute, Dawn of Reason on 31 Records. At number 2 is a new entry again from Danny C, Vivid on Valve Records.
Mighty Rollers. Mighty Rollers. Mighty Rollers.
Number 1.
number 1.
A non-mover at number 1 is The Huge Body Rock by Andy C and Shimon on Ram Recordings. Compiled this week by Boogie Times in Romford, Black Market in London, Music First Birmingham, Eastern Bloc in Manchester, Massive Records in Oxford and Red Eye Records in Ipswich. Thanks Fabio, that was the 5 Mighty Rollers read out by Clive from Red Eye Records. Big shout to Tom, peace out.
Fabio, Radio 1. Fabio, Radio 1. Fabio, Radio 1. Fabio, Fabio, Radio 1. Fabio, Fabio, Radio 1. Yes, let it roll, Fabio. 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 Yes, let it roll, Fabio.
Brand new from a man called Calibre. I think he just finished this the other day. I just put it on for a second, heard the little vibes, and just had to play it. That's the way it goes. Track entitled Venus and Mars. Had you. Right, we're coming up to the end of the show soon. Got a couple more tracks to play and then we're out of here. Just gotta tell you, next up on our show, DJ Sav, of course, from the Full Cycle Click. He'll be coming in, telling us what's going on in the Full Cycle camp. Also telling us about his excellent new album, Desert Rose. That is the mighty DJ Sav. Also doing some tracks with Pachif at the moment. So that's coming up in the next show for you. Send a big shout going out to MC Moose. Big shout to the GQ. And a shout to everyone listening to the show. I know loads of you listen on the way back in the car. I was out in Italy about 3 weeks ago and I bucked up on a UK Apache. That is a name, blast from the past. I was very surprised to see him in the house. But he's telling me he's listening to the show on the reg, so big shout going out to UK Apache. Also big shout going out to Navi, the mighty Navigator. And you know that. Big shout going out to Jumping Jack Frost. Also shouting Brian G, V-Click. There's a little thing entitled Digital Boogie. We've got one more after this and then we're out. Yeah. It's all about the music tonight, all about the music.
love with you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Had a great time tonight. Great time tonight. Many thanks to Lee. Fingers crossed, baby. You know the deal. Also a big shout going out to Andy. Wilbur, who's he? No, I can't say that. But Andy, running things tidy. Big shout going out to Wilbur, also Jane, all the urban crew. Yeah. Also many thanks to Calibre. All I can say for the album, fingers crossed. Remember, you can catch the rider in the hot seat next week. I'm gonna love and leave you with some bootleg pressure. One of the probably the best R&B track of the year, done in drum and bass style.
Let me explain to you what I'm saying.
So I'm gonna ride out into the sunset on this one. Sunshine Anderson, rejigged. Thanks for listening. Hope it's been an education for you. And remember, keep it Radio 1 always.